Greetings everyone, this is Spot and welcome back to Hong Kong. We're playing Shadowrun Returns. Yes, okay, so we are about to go and try to track down the serial killer, which is going to be good, so. Oh, okay, cool. We're going to go through here. We've been here before. Is there anything actually else to check here? No? Okay, so we're just going to go into here. Alright. Board train. The MTR doors open as you approach. Head to Umpire Garden to discover who's killing... Yes. Additional runners available. In addition to your team, your fixer has access to a small network of mercenaries in the Kowloon area. These runners appear below your core team on the runner selection screen and can be hired on a mission-to-mission basis. As you complete missions, both your team members and the available mercenaries will periodically gain access to new equipment and abilities. Any new items, spells, weapons, or weapon abilities that a runner gains will automatically be available for use the next time you take them on a mission. Yeah, so they actually get better. I think we just want to, like, you know, actually bring our own people. I think that's the thing, yo. They're also cheaper. Okay. Why does this not change? I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, fine. We're going to confirm. Yes. Outsider. Whampoa Garden, a carnival of chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed bones, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks these streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Whampoan elders, the leaders of the band of tech-savvy squatters that have claimed this neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Whampoans you pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are menaced as well. Continue. Oh yeah, we have the same thing here. Right, same, blah, blah, blah. I don't think we have anything else yet. Okay, good. It's pretty much the same stuff. Well, actually, can we move something down here? Items, good, and then we can give it to... You've got a frag grenade. Okay, we should actually give this to Isabel. There we go. I like everyone to have frag grenades. Cool, and everyone but Gobet's got medical on them, so that's good. Okay. Confirm? Here we go. The streets of Whampoa Garden are slick with rain, glittering under the neon glow of myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painting the white apartment blocks. The sickly orange of sodium streetlights, the smell of grilling meat mingles with other, rarer scents. Ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite the hour, there are plenty of people out and about. You can hear the calls of street vendors and touts urging people into their stores. Isabel wrinkles her nose, scowling darkly. She wraps her arms tightly around her chest, staring off into the distance. Is there a word for feeling nostalgic for a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feelings I had when I lived here. Interesting, not that I know of. Swadad, maybe? Bill shakes her head. No, that's not it. It's close, but she lets the sentence trail off into nothingness, clamping her mouth shut for a moment. Isabel sighs heavily. This place seemed like heaven after the walled city, like the whole world had unfurled in front of me, and anywhere I turned there was the promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as crappy as everywhere else. Everyone was still in it for themselves. Gobet claps a hand on Isabel's shoulder, who flinches and pulls away. That's a great life lesson, I'm serious. At the end of the day, life's a raw deal. You've got yourself and a handful of friends, and that's it. Nothing else. Duncan casts a sidelong glance at Isabel and Gobet, shaking his head. You got some strange ideas about life. Sure, life's a meat grinder, but come on, there's got to be more to life than just surviving. Does there? What makes you the authority on that? Isabel waves a dismissive hand. I'm done talking about this. Anyway. Isabel turns toward you and points down the street to your left. We're looking for the Wampoan elders. They're going to be in the Wampoa itself. That's the big ship down the street. I've seen pictures, it looks like a yacht. That's the mall shaped like a boat, right? Isabel nods, lips pursed. That's the one. Somebody thought it would be clever to make a uniquely shaped mall. Alright. So, we're going to go down here, see what we can find. So we need to go that way. I've heard he's not just dead, he's been all cut up. Ew, gross. We go down here, see what we can find. Anything of interest? Whoa, what the hell? Who is that? That guy's huge. You better find someplace indoors to sleep. The streets are dangerous lately. I'm thinking that the serial killing may be more politically motivated than random. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. So, alright. For some reason, this whole area reminds me of that main starting area in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Yeah, I don't know why. Just this whole area for some reason. Ish. But more cluttered, obviously. The elders don't want anyone to go inside without their permission. It must be pretty bad in there. Ah, okay, so there's another killing in there, which means we're going to probably be going in there a bit later. There we go. Are we going here? Nope. That's who we need to talk to there. Well, let's go look around first. Over here, anything interesting? Who is this? It's like security or something? That's interesting. Anything down here to look at? Nope. Okay, so I guess we're going back over here. Elder Nig. The orc woman is festooned with small circuits. Tiny trid screens and speakers. The trid screens display snippets of trid broadcasts from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoint with a susurrus of voices speaking Sphyrthia, Punjabi, Kazakh, and other languages. Her expression is haggard, and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome to Wampoa, my friend. I am Elder Nig, and these are Elders Tang and Ip. Nig gestures to the elf and human, who each incline their heads respectively. Respectfully. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We had nowhere else to turn. It's the least I could do. Sure, whatever. As long as you can pay, I can help. Under Tang's skin, glowing tattoos writhe and change shape. Tigers become cranes and move on to dragons. We're under threat. One by one, we elders are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. Lip crosses his solid chrome arms. Holographic readouts dance constantly over their surface, displaying diagnostic information about their state, operating temperature, servo pressure, and variety of other minutiae. He looks past you toward Isabel. The prodigal daughter returned once more. I didn't expect to see you back aboard the Wampoa in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yetun was very put out. I'm glad you're still alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understood why you had to leave. Lip pauses, testing the air as he chooses his next words with care. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you places, though. Isabel shrugs. A moment later, she places a hand on her pistol, eyes trained on the LP's shoes. I didn't cart this around for fun, LP. The lessons kept me alive. Isabel blinks several times and then looks up at Nig, her expression clouded. Where is Yatunda? Anywhere? Yatunda anyway. I expected her to be here. Nig shakes her head sadly. She reaches out a hand toward Isabel, who shrinks away from it. She's dead. So are Gan and Nakamura. And Tong was killed just tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. Isabel's expression remains impassive, but her knuckles grow white as her hands ball up into fists. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. Nig lifts a hand, wiping away tears from her eyes. What can you tell me about the murders? Let's go with this. They started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was Gan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. Ning swallows, grimacing at the painful memory. He'd been torn apart. His head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. Gross. Tang nods, running his palm over his forehead. The rest have been the same. Always at night, always dismembered. Each scene is like a nightmare, and every time, nobody has seen anything. It's like a ghost. What happened to Tong? The same thing that happened to the rest of victims. Evisceration and dismemberment. We sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He locked up his shop, but LP stopped by to ask him about some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and inside, Nig lifts her hands helplessly. She opens her mouth, but no words come out. So, LP Lip stopped by. Seeing Nig's inability to continue, Lip takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown, because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favors for local gangs and triads, handle their matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HKPF or anyone else decides we're an easy target. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the message via the matrix. The last time the HKPF made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the TRID. They got the picture and backed off. Ooh, have we made any enemies lately? Nick shrugs helplessly. Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and deckers. And if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whatever did this, it wasn't human. The violence and the savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too, Nick. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. What do the Wampon elders do? Isabel snorts derisively. They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of petty tyrants, that's what. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. Tang turns to address you. We keep the Wampoa and its residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision, like a town council. I can respect that. Rules are made to be broken. I'm glad you understand. This community is fragile, and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. A single misstep could spell our end. I am the invoker of spirits. I commune with the spirits of machines, ask them for blessings, and pass those blessings on to the other people, to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui, sorry. Feng shui of our inhabitants is as good as it can be, given our confines. She's a shaman, that's all. She's just got some kooky spin on it. Claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Isabel packs her deck, looking at Nig. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck, it's mine. I built it. The only that's so a Han Solo reference. The only spirits it's got in it are the ESPs I loaded it up with. Nig gives Isabel a look of deep sadness. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that, bullshit. Isabel glances at you, jerking a thumb toward Tang. This guy treats drones like they're living things. Is that right? Tang extends his arms, palms up, as you watch the tattoos therein shift into a complex mathematical formula. I am the fist. I'm the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed AutoFab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. As for me, I serve as the resplendent voltage spike. Lip smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try to screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. That's all for now. Elder Nig, it might be wise to ask the residents of Whampoa Garden if they've seen or heard anything. After you've gone to Tong's sensory carnival, they may have seen or heard things we have not. Good to know. Alright. So, definitely some stuff there that Isabel is not happy about. I don't think we're going to get anything here until we actually go to actually look at the scene. Yeah, if there is anything in here, it's not open to us right now. We pretty much have to go there first. Alright. Porter Lamb at your service. The elders told me that you'd be coming. They tell you about what happened to Tong? Just the basics. He got killed earlier tonight, yeah? Killed. Ha, that's rich. Killed is when a BTL head sticks a knife in you for your cred stick, or the cops put two in your chest for not kissing up hard enough. This is something else entirely. This isn't killed. This is slaughtered, like a fatted calf. Watch yourself. It's a goddamn mess in there. Alright, so here we go. By the way, I don't know how this is going to look, so... Tong's sensory carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tong littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order. At least the first glance. Nothing is broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. First glance. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie. Drying blood is spread about the walls and ceiling as well. Interesting. And of course there's no lights on, because that doesn't make it spooky at all. Let's look at Tong's body. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognizable, and what is left of his body would be best described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of the Whampoan elder. The Whampoan's clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flaying. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fiber optics of his cyberware. Ew. Gobet puts a hand over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristically serious tone. Sweet heaven, Spot. I haven't seen anything like that since Auntie Wong tried to slash some cred sticks in a devil's rat's nest. Stash some cred sticks in a devil's rat's nest. It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. I'll second that. This isn't a murder. This is more like, I don't know, a feeding frenzy. If it weren't for the skin, I'd say Tong stepped on a goddamn mine or something. We don't have Biotech 3, that sucks. Spellcasting or conjuring. Have Gobet assess the body. Yeah, let's do that. You're the boss. Man, this is going to be unpleasant. Gobet closes her eyes, taking a deep breath. After a moment, she opens them again and makes a strange grunting noise. There's no fear here, Spot. No anger either. just this kind of satisfied feeling. Tong never saw it coming, and whoever did it was professional about it, which is pretty odd because nobody's professional about eviscerating a body, as far as I know. You think it was a hit? I mean, the murder wasn't some kind of animal attack. I don't know why the killer was after Tong, but it definitely wasn't any kind of mindless creature, or even someone particularly passionate. It was somebody who planned this and executed it and was glad about it. I don't know, it kind of feels like it was just business as usual. Okay. Maybe it was Isabel. The walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which has hardened into a crusty, congealed paste. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. Hey, Spot, I don't know a whole lot about science or all that, but I know what blood looks like when it hits a wall. This isn't natural. Somebody deliberately smeared blood all over these walls. See how it looks like it got paint trails? That's because somebody used Tong's parts like a brush. Okay. So they painted his walls with blood. Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're a freak. Maybe they're one of those sick serial killers that sees their murders as art. I got no clue. All I know is what normal blood looks like on a wall, and this ain't it. Some people have a bad grasp of art. I knew this guy in Kwantung who used to make music out of stray radio static and panic button calls. Called it Crisis Wave. It was awful. Okay. Go through here. Look in here first. Bathroom. Tong's bathroom is immaculate, and the drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't exit through here. Desk safe? Tong's desk drawers are open, and the safe that's built into one side has been opened. There's no sign of tampering, and the green light next to the word unlocked is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside are several blank cred sticks, but no sign of any with money on them. Looks like someone looted his stash. A guy like this wouldn't keep only empty cred sticks in his safe. That's interesting. This is a Yamaha 95000V SimSynth, a device for mixing and mastering SimSynth chips. Several drive bays are empty and all of the chip jacks are empty. The screen is flashing a repeated error message. Warning, requested files cannot be found. Please return drives to bay and try again. Have Isabel debug the SimSmith. Isabel rattles out some commands on the SimSys keyboard, stepping away after a few seconds with a look of satisfaction on her face. There, I've put the drive warning on suspend. It's in diagnostic mode only, though. Maybe we'll learn something, maybe not. Yamaha SimOS 5.23. System diagnostics check. Memory okay, drive error, assist bus okay, beginning core dump, please wait. Isabel studies the screen in detail as letters and numbers scroll by. Looks like Tong was cooking some BTLs here. He's hacked the peak controller output cutoffs. The delta levels on his sim chips are usually about 6.5 for cowhots. His delta peaks are pushing 12. That's brain-burning territory, Spot. And all the drives and chips those BTLs were stored on are missing. I never liked Tong, but it wasn't because he was a bad guy. I just didn't like any of the elders. But if he was cooking chips at Delta 12, maybe he burned somebody he shouldn't have. Maybe they flipped their lid and came after him, or a relative did. Isabel gives you a serious look, tipping her head at the synth. The metahuman brain can't handle this kind of output. It'll shut down after a few of these. That was a terrifying sound, I would just like to point out. So I think we've seen everything in here. So we need to leave, right? Maybe we can visit some of the other locations? Alright. There's this guy, Zippy. Actually, let's talk to this guy again, real quick, see if he says anything else. Hey there, need something else? What do you do around here, Porter? It's a catch-all category, I guess. I work for Elder LP. It's a bit like being a deputy. I make sure people don't break the rules, protect people who need protecting. Mostly I just do whatever LP asks me to do. It's a pretty quiet job most days. Today's not one of those days. I also handle a lot of maintenance. I don't actually do the repairs, but I've got most of the keys. It makes it easy to ensure only authorized people get into sensitive places. Electricity goes down, I let in the electrician who fixes the wiring. Toilet's clogged, I let in the drone guy who opens it back up. Looks like somebody went through Tong's things. Has anyone else been inside? Not since I've been here, but before LP found him? Could have been anybody, really. LP had a key to his place, but the lock's total crap. Anybody half decent at cracking mag locks could have gotten inside. What's missing? His BTLs, hard drives, and cred sticks are all missing. Sounds like the killer looted his place to me. All this talk of monsters? Yeah, sure. There are scarier things that go bump in the night, but most of the scary bumps I hear are from handguns and gingers. See you later. I'm still interested in LP. He's This orc is busily snacking on a steamed bun. As you approach, he wipes off one of his hands and sticks it out toward you. Hey, stranger, nice to see you. Zippy Toe Tag at your service. How are you liking Wampoa Garden? I'm Spot. Nice to meet you, Zippy. Nice to meet you, too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me to just say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. Zippy gestures expansively at the squalid, neon-lit streets of Wampoa Garden. This is my home, at least for the time being, and I'd like to stop these killings. We've never met before this, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders had me autopsy what was left of Elder Gan and Elder Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. So since I don't know you, and I can smell a Shadowrunner a mile away, you've got to be the outsider they asked to stop the killings, right? Zippy tilts his head back, obviously pleased with his amateur deduction. Very astute, that's right. Show off. You're right, nothing gets by you, does it? Very astute. See, I have good eyes. A lot of good eyes. Actually, if you're in the market for replacement, only slightly used. And they only come from certified donors, I swear. A hearty belly laugh erupts from the orc and slaps one of the thighs in elation. Man, I'd kill myself. Pretty funny, you a stand-up comedian? That was awful. Make a joke like that again, maybe I'll kill you first. With jokes like that, are you kidding me? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other Wampoans healthy. Gotta practice down the road. Blind Chin's a pretty good cyberdoc, but he's basically an implant specialist and that's it. How'd you end up here? I did my residency back at the UCAS. Could have become a real MD too if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. Zippy opens his coat, revealing a cyber deck. He pats it proudly. I also deck a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than IC. Wampoa Garden seemed a good fit for me. Must have a lot of customers. That's the chip truth. I have to change to my cover costs. I have to charge to my Wait, what? I have to charge to cover my costs and eat, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list. But it's good, honest work, like helping my neighbors in the community. We all look out for each other. Somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. That kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have an ethos like this? Not the damn corpse, that's for sure. I've lived a lot of places, done my fair share of shadowrunning, but this place is special. It's been a long time since I really felt like anywhere was a real home. Zippy looks off past you, toward the Wampoa Garden streets. His expression grows wistful, like he's remembering something from a long time ago. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done with this city or these people. That sounds weird. So is it fairly peaceful around here? For the most part, other than these killings, we don't have much by way of problems. We do information security for the triads, and that makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone starts something, we hit them in the matrix, while our triad friends hit them in meat space. Some small-time gangs have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figured out they weren't just picking a fight with Ting and his guys, but with both the Red Dragon and Yellow Lotus. They got the message real quick. What was left of them, anyway. Let me ask you about Wampoa Garden. Sure thing, what do you want to know? What are your thoughts on the murders? There's a sharp intake of breath as Zippy shakes his head. Pretty gruesome business. Gan died from a broken neck. Looked like someone had wrenched it around, and his arms and legs were cut off. Some skin flayed away, too. Nakamura had his throat ripped out by someone with pretty sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but the teeth marks were all from something with a humanoid jaw. I didn't look at Yatunde. From what I saw at a distance, it was the same story. Didn't seem much point since I'd seen it twice already. As for Tong, from what Porter told me, it was Gan and Nakamura all over again. You take a look at him yet? Yeah, it's the same as you described for the others. Zippy shakes his head sadly. Damn, I like Tong. The BTL business is unsavory, but the man had to eat, and his regular sims were great. Generally, all-around nice guy. Friendly with everyone. Never had anyone mad at him. There ain't no justice, let me tell you. What can you tell me about the elders? Zippy laughs, shrugging. Well, they're an eclectic bunch, that's for sure. Where to start? Nig's the spiritual leader here. She's the voice of the Wampoans, I guess. A lot of her close friends are really more followers since she's something of a priest for the machine spirits. Maybe it's a cultural thing for people who grew up here, but it's never called to me. Still, she makes a damn fine pot of tea. Lips the muscle and has an encyclopedic knowledge of cyber and BioWare. Definitely a good guy to have watching your back. Not too friendly, but you know how it is. You get a lot of cyber, people start wondering if you'll tear their arms off. Zippy makes a chopping gesture with one hand. He's got moves straight out of Blood Carnival 3 The Reckoning. Terrible movie, but great fight choreography. What about Tang? I don't know much about him, but I think he's got some kind of fetish for automation. Found him cooing over some trids of automated delivery drones in a warehouse once. I wonder if that's referencing that Amazon video. He works with drones, has a shop called The Blessed Autofab. He was raving about the efficiency of the movement patterns or something. You already know about Tong, ran Sims, BTLs, skill chips. Gan used to be a city planner before he had a nervous breakdown and got involved in statistical analysis. Zippy pauses to collect his thoughts. Nakamura came from Fukua and was interested in entertainment, Trid mostly. Spent a lot of time analyzing subliminals in ads. Really? Huh. Then there was Magpie. She was the chief decker. Hot as hell against IC. And built her own hardware. Salty old woman, though. Never met anyone who was quite as shrill or nasty when she was mad. She was mad most of the time. Tell me more about her. Wait, nobody mentioned Magpie to me. When did she die? She didn't. Maybe a month ago, she just up and disappeared. I went to her shop one day and she just wasn't open. Nobody's seen her since. Kind of a pain in the ass, too. She owed me some new Analyze software she'd picked up. I've never heard of Magpie either. She must be one of the newer Wampoans. If she was the Decker, she would have replaced Elder Geo. No surprise there. Geo was older than Quinn Shungunga's Terracotta Warriors. Oh, yeah. I know. What's funny is that I know who that emperor is. I just can't pronounce his name. When I was learning decking from him, he could barely get out of bed. Still fast as hell in the Matrix, though. How can you be new and an elder? Isabel rolls her eyes. It's a stupid name. It doesn't actually have much to do with time spent in the community. That has something to do with it, sure, but it's mostly about how skilled you are, how good your connections are, and how much you can help everybody else. Should have called them experts or something. Bingo, that's exactly it. She was only here for about 3 years, but she knew a lot of people all over the Matrix, in Shanghai and Beijing, all kinds of places. That, plus her skill, meant she was a shoo-in when Geo died. Why would she disappear? Where do you think she went? No idea. One day she was here, the next, poof. At first I thought she was just on vacation, since she had mentioned wanting to see the Kingdom of Hawaii someday. But it didn't feel right. She would have had at least told me she was leaving. Excuse me. It seems mighty suspicious to me. Nobody else seems to care what happened to her, probably because she's pissed them off so bad. Is there any place you think I should start looking? A little odd for her to just disappear, don't you think? Of course it's odd. She owed me lunch, too, and she was the sort who paid her debts promptly. You might want to check out her shop. It's all locked up, but the other elders have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around. And even though Magpie was always butting heads with the other elders, they wouldn't have any reason not to let you in. What do you mean they were butting heads? Magpie and the others never saw eye to eye. She was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted this neighborhood to become. Magpie just wanted to deck. She was only an elder because they needed someone with her matrix chops. The last big argument was between her, Nig, LP, and Nakamura. It was over something relatively trivial. I think Nakamura wanted to expand the pirate trade business into the Matrix, and she just absolutely refused. Why did she refuse? She sounds like she didn't care for entertainment taking precedence over business. Why did she refuse? She said something about not using up valuable bandwidth for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, it went from there into this rant about how she wasn't going to let Ting expand his drone business any further because it would get too much megacorp attention. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which is probably true. Lots of screaming. Interesting. Okay, so now the story's starting to come to light. So maybe, maybe they got rid of her. That's why she just disappeared. And then, maybe some of them were feeling guilty and the others are killing them. I don't know. We'll see. Or I don't know. There's some other things I'm thinking of, but anyway, they accused her of, what do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs her matrix skills for their business to run properly. There are other deckers, me, say, or, Monebi, but she had the infrastructure. If their project didn't interest her, she wouldn't even give them the time of day. She's a real hardhead about having her time wasted, but she figures if she's not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot, if you ask me. Sounds like she was critical. Could you let me into her shop? No can do. Not because I don't want to, but because I just don't have the key. You'd have to get it from LP. He's taken over all the Matrix infrastructure maintenance since Magpie disappeared. He's not as good as she is, or as I am, but they're not going to let anyone who isn't an elder take care of that kind of critical stuff. See you later, Zippy. I kind of like Zippy. He's Zippalicious. Haha, yeah, I said it. I said it. Zippalicious. Okay, so I think we need to actually go talk to them. Maybe we can get a key. I have a feeling they're not going to give it to us. We'll see. Anything we can do for you, Spot? Why didn't you tell me about Elder Magpie disappearing? Why would we have? Her departure from the Wampoans isn't related to your investigation. It happened before the killings began. I'm certain she's just off sulking somewhere. Nick's tone is profoundly indifferent. No doubt she'll come waltzing back next month, all full of attitude that life dared to go on without asking her permission. If she does, we'll welcome her back, despite our problems with her behavior. Her skills make her extremely valuable. I've taken over maintenance of our Matrix infrastructure in her absence, but I'm nowhere near her level. The best I can do is ensure nothing breaks down until she returns. I'd like to take a look around her shop. Do you have the key? She responsible for the killing is not mentioning it seems like a major oversight. I'll take the key. Yes, but there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including our community servers. We don't let anyone who's not one of the opponent elders in there. Why would you need to look around there? But I have charisma. Listen, you wanted me to find a killer. I'm going to do that. I have to explore every possibility. Very well. Take the key and look around. Just don't break anything or shut the servers off. Was there anything else? I'll be going now. Thank you very much. Ooh, there's other people to talk to. I knew it. I knew it would open up possibilities. All right. Wing Cake Cook. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Quok Atelier, home of the finest clothing in Wampoa Garden. I am the owner, Master Tailor Wing Kai Quok. How may I serve you today? I didn't expect Wampoa Garden to have a tailor's in it. Many people don't. There's a mistaken impression that we Wampoans are only interested in technology and the Matrix, but even technologists need clothing, don't they? And many of us are in line of where added protection is required. I myself am a material scientist as well as a keen follower of fashion trends. What kind of material science? Fiber related, of course. Primarily aramid fibers, graphene composites, and dilatants. It affords me a certain unique perspective when designing clothing that is not only beautiful, but defensive as well. I specialize in high-fashion body armor, similar to the kind crafted by SecureTech or Fashion Island, but with a much more personal touch. Show me what you have. Cool. I actually have this already. Okay, we can't afford any of this right now anyways, but okay, so she's not actually a contact. Wonder if these are actually people. Rainbow. This woman sports brilliantly hued hair that shifts colors, scintillating with every passing moment. She's powerfully built, a natural athlete, or someone who works out a great deal. Notably, a large shotgun rests on an arcade cabinet next to her. She affords you a short glance as you approach when she speaks. You note a peculiarity, lyrical accent to her voice. Something I can help you with here, friend? I don't know why I'm doing a U.S. Southern accent. You're throwing me off my game and I'm trying to beat my best score. That's some interesting hair you have. Tank War Europa? I haven't seen one of those cabinets in years. Woman's mouth twists up into a wry grin. Aye, me neither. Managed to find this one near by accident. But I heard the music and thought, hold on there, Rainbow. You know that tune. After a few moments, Rainbow's game is suddenly over, her tank obliterated by a barrage of air-to-ground missiles. She hisses her breath and through clenched teeth. Piss on your ma. A right robbery, that was. Right then. Rainbow shakes her head again and turns to face you fully. You don't seem like them Wampoans. They're all a mite touched, yeah? Maybe you are too. But you don't advertise it like they do. What's your story? Looking at the murders that have been happening. Ah, that's some nasty work. Bodies hacked up, chunks bitten out of them. Make sure you're loaded for something big and ugly, that's for certain. Where are you from? I can't place the accent. Born and raised in Dublin, down on the banks of the Liffey. Liffey? Spent most of me early life there, working security on sacred spaces, historical sites or undeveloped land. The Green Movement was big in those days. It was a bit like being a park ranger, but sure didn't it beat some dead-end desk job. Spent a lot of time around County Dublin and Wicklow. I always loved animals, and I found out being a ranger put me in close with them. It was a good time, yeah? Making sure the budding new species like the bogies, and centaurs didn't upset the ecology of Wicklow National Park much. Also kept the nastier bits like the usage from running amok across unpopulated areas. What's that? And eat whiskey. Nay, it's usage. Usage just the word for water, which is how whiskey got its name. Oh. Okay. It's a cannibal horse, basically. If you've never heard of an Ishishis, be glad. It drags you into bogs to kill you. Sometimes people call them keplis on account of the water plants they pop. That's disturbing. Anyway, as I was saying, problem was I started to develop this wee knack, just a small thing. I keep magic from working when I'm around. Spells don't go, spirits fall apart, and the paracritters get real feisty, yeah? Well, that's intriguing. To make things worse, this is around the time Liam O'Connor threw his coup and formed Tar Na Nog. With all his fancy talk about elves and ancient magic, it was a bit scandalous to have a woman guarding ancient sites that wasn't just mundane, but also killed magic around her, so I got fired. You're older than Tir Na Nog? Bang on, and I don't look a day over 25, do I? Rainbow flexes one arm, grinning widely. Aye, I'm Irish, not one of them noggins. Pack of punters, a lot of them. Always going on about their ancestral lands and the glory of the past and all that bullshit. Shite. I saw them kick dozens of old Irish families off their land just because their eyes weren't pointy enough or they didn't meet some stupid arbitrary criteria of old nobility. It was that kind of thing that brought back the IRA, just like in the bad old days of the Troubles. But not as bad as the Tribbles. The Skeevers in the new tier didn't pay for the land they took, they just had a pack of bullies with guns. Rainbow scrunches her face up into a disgusted sneer and mock spits at the ground. I've always been sympathetic to the little guy in a fight. They offered to pay for my help, so I said yes, simple as that. So you became a terrorist? Don't be so dramatic. They They fixed me up with a cyber stitcher and gave me a lot of the kit I've got in me now in exchange for going overseas to work for them. Smuggling, running guns, making contracts in Europe. Same kind of shite all revolutionary groups do. Seeing as how my own fam got kicked out of their house, I was glad to do it. I still do work for them these days, but there's a lot less of it. Lady Day cracked down on dissidents, but good. What are you doing in Wampoa Garden? Me? I'm a bit of a big game hunter these days. I get into strange places, look for some kind of paracritter I've not seen before, and then I put a bullet in it. Only the nasty ones, though. No point in hunting a talus cat or such. It's only things like gargoyles, barghests, and whatnot. All the work I did with them in my youth does a good job of keeping me alive. I was out in Jakarta last year, hunting one of them Indonesian vampires. You ever heard of them? Call them Pinagalans. Their heads and guts come out of the body cavity and they fly around like giant messy pile of pasta. Ew. Rainbow bears her teeth and pantomimes floating around. Took me a solid 2 months to track her down, but I did. Once the job was done, I asked myself, okay, Rainbow, where's the best place in East Asia to find some action? So Hong Kong it was. All the here mean a bigger concentration of odd critters than you usually find in a city. Been spending a lot of time down in the storm drains these days. I heard rumors of a rat king down there, where a mess of devil rats get all tied together into some kind of big awful rat beast. Haven't tracked it down yet, but I figure it's only a matter of time, yeah? She pats the barrel of her shotgun affectionately. See you later, Rainbow. Okay. Wow. She's intriguing. So we can talk to this guy. The owner of this shop barely looks from his PDA while greeting you. His tone is one of immense boredom. Welcome to Ming Vung Matrix Materials, aka MVMM. What can I get you? Show me what you have for sale. Oh, cool. So, okay, that's cool. See you later. Groovy, groovy. So we've got outfits over there. We've got Matrix stuff over here. Is anyone actually living here? Working here? No. Okay. So actually, is there anyone here? Oh, that's not even open. Okay, so we're gonna go through here. Okay, so we've got that. The jackpot. Was this her place? I guess so. Going to the jackpot. All right, so this is place I believe. I'm gonna put a cut here because we're running a little bit long. And thanks for hanging out, and we will definitely continue on with the story in the next episode. So until then, have a fantastic time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
We're going for the moon.
Hey there, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. If you'd like to see more, just click subscribe. Come say hi to me on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, any of those. I hope to see you next time.